Welcome back. If you've been following along, by now you have both a domain name registered at GoDaddy or Namecheap, and you have a hosting account created, perhaps at HostGator, and you received a welcome email from your hosting company, and it had your name servers in it. So you went back to GoDaddy or Namecheap, and you took your domain name, and you added those name servers. The net result being that your domain name is now pointing to your hosting account, so that when people type in your domain name, it'll go over to HostGator or wherever you're hosting and bring up the web page at that location. As I said, it might take a while for your domain name to resolve correctly. It can take up to 48 hours for that to happen. So in my case now, when I type hostdailydeals.com, it goes to my HostGator page, but there's nothing there yet. So in this lecture, we're going to install WordPress. So in that welcome email that you got from your hosting company, it would have given you a cPanel link. For HostGator, it was outlook.websitewelcome.com:2082. So I'll type that in and I get to the Cpanel Login page. So here I will type in with the credentials that were in the email. That was hostdale. Type in my password, and I can log into cPanel. So cPanel is your ability to manage everything you need to manage about your hosting account. And you can see I can set up email accounts, for example, access to it via the web, make backups of my account, look at the logs to see who's been visiting my website, set up security. I can add password protection to directories, add domains or subdomains, set up a database, and then we get into the more interesting part, which is to install software or services. So if you took a cPanel account with HostGator, you'll see something like this quick install. Other hosting companies might have something called Fantastico. So look for either quick install or Fantastico in your control panel. I'm going to go ahead and click quick install. And here are the options of software that I can install. So there's a lot of software you can install, but if you look through your list, you'll find WordPress. So I'm going to select WordPress, and it tells me which version is going to be installed, and that's good. It's a pretty current version as of the time of recording this video. Click continue. It's going to ask, where do you want it installed? So a little tricky, but let's just look at this. So obviously I want it installed on that domain, my hostdailydeals.com. The question is whether I want it installed in some subdirectory or path from hostdailydeals.com, such as, for example, /blog or something of that nature. WordPress is going to be running my entire site, so I wanted what we call in the root. I don't want to specify any subdirectory, so I'm just going to say I want it at hostdailydeals.com because I want it to come up when somebody types hostdailydeals.com. I don't want them to have to type hostdailydeals.com/blog, for example. So we will leave it here in the root. I'm going to leave auto upgrades checked. What happens is that WordPress will update the version from time to time, 401, 402, 4.5, 5, 6, etc. And auto upgrades means that it's going to automatically update to the latest version, which is just good from a security perspective. I now have to choose an admin email. So use the email address that you currently have. Maybe it's Gmail or Yahoo, whatever that case might be. Type in your email address here. So there would be, your name at gmail.com or whatever your email address happened to be. A blog title. You can change this later, so that's not too critical, but my example site is Host Daily Deals, so the title I'll probably use is Daily Hosting Specials. The admin user, I like to use admin, and then you can enter your first name and last name. So let's go ahead and click install, and you'll see this progress bar as it installs WordPress on your server, and it says congratulations, it's been installed, and it's giving you the admin name, that was the name we selected up here, admin, and a default password or a new password for how to get into the area, into the admin panel. So guess what? WordPress is now actually installed on your site. So if I go back to my Host Daily Deals, let me refresh that page, and look at that. I now have a website running at hostdailydeals.com. Don't worry if typing your site name in your browser is not resolving to your WordPress site. This is a problem with something called DNS propagation. If you recall back, you pointed your domain name to your new hosting account. Unfortunately, that can take a while for it to take effect. So you can keep hitting refresh and seeing if it's pointing to your hosting account. Also try it from your mobile phone or something where you've got a 3G connection, because that's using a different internet service provider than your home service provider, just to see when it's finally taking effect. They say it can take up to 48 hours to take effect. I'm hoping that it doesn't take that long for you. Just give it some time and see when you can get that actually resolving to your site, and at which point you'll be back in business. There is a video here entitled using WordPress.com as an alternative. If you want to keep moving along with the videos and your domain name isn't resolving yet, take a look at that video for using WordPress.com as a temporary solution, just so you can follow along on the videos while you wait for your domain name to resolve. Fantastic. So it says, welcome to WordPress. This is your first post. Maybe yours looks a little different, but basically you should be seeing your WordPress site come up there. So that's a fantastic accomplishment if you got this far. One other thing to note on your quick install, copy this to a safe place. This is the URL to get to your admin side WordPress, where we will be building our site for the rest of this course, along with the credentials. So you might receive this in an email, but just for safety's sake, keep this in a safe place as well. And I will just go there quickly. Let's go to that link. And so it takes me to the place in WordPress where I can log in and where we will be adding our site and building our site. But so basically what you should have got to at the end of this lecture is your domain name pointing to your website. For those of you who are following along and have bought a domain name and you've managed to install WordPress, by all means, I'd love to see your domain name and your initial site. So just feel free to leave that in the discussion area next to this lecture, and let other people see that as well, and show us your progress. So I hope you got to this point. I hope your domain name is now pointing to your website, and let us know in the discussion area if you're having any problems with this. So this is where things get exciting. You've got all the legwork out of the way, and now we can start building your website. And you already have a sample web page running. Let's go ahead and make this look like the website you want it to be.